Originally it was this high, so looks like there's some twisting in the wood or whatever. So yeah, so I cut it and then had to cut it again because it wasn't fitting. You can see where the original cut was, and then the second cut to widen it out, and it seems to fit good. We need to, you know, even it out though, and then same thing over here. And yeah, so we're good. You can kind of see if the light and dark and contrast will show. You can see the original along here, and above the floor. I don't think that they had 3/4 ply, but then they had the carpet up here, and then that's where the rain would get all icky and dirt and dust and all that stuff. Mouse poo. All this stuff. So we're good. We're good. We're not you know, we're the same up there, and then we've got the rest of the truss across. So we need to, you know, repeat that. So we'll just flip it around and put it on that side, and it'll stick out, you know, however far. These are long though. These are extra long. These are like, I think 10 feet was the longest they had with 10 feet with the 7-inch. So it goes almost the other side. For these ones, I'm not going to cut them short. I'm just going to leave them, and then but the ones that I buy will only, I think I'll buy 8 foot, because 6 foot would be cutting it too close. So 8 foot probably. It's a good standard, you know, cut, and it'd be more out here somewhere. But yeah, so 8 foot, and then all of them will cross over, and I think zigzag them. If I zigzag them, though, I won't be able to place the boards, you know, properly, because they're a certain size, like actual, like 4x8. So, you know, when it comes up, and if these aren't doubled, you know, we need that width so that one panel of plywood can come here, and then the next plywood panel can come here and have something to sit on, and also bolt to, or nail to, whatever, screw to. Cool. I'm gonna cut the others and line them up, see what we got. Yeah, I need to make that. It's not parallel to the to the wall. It looks funny. Looks like yeah. Well, anyway, I'll measure it out and we'll get it straight. But yeah, we're getting there. Cabin floor. Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of tempted though, you know, like, because I like doing the rounded a little bit, just to give it that space, but give it the strength of that corner. If it's rounded a little bit, because this obviously is not sitting on anything, so it doesn't need to be, you know, touching it. It doesn't need to be sitting on something. So if it's you know, perpendicular, or if it goes out to here, shouldn't matter. What's important is all the structure there that needs to keep it from flexing when you step on it, you know. Hey buddy, look who's come to say hi. He's really cold. Okay, see what's going on. Morning. Yeah. I think it's sawdust. Not sure, but he likes it. Last night I had tons of sawdust, and he was licking it off me too. It's like most dogs that get pieces of wood and chew on them. There's a taste to it. Yeah. So there you have it. Cutting the rest of them. All right. Well, next. Oh, careful. Next problem, as there are many. All right. So this first one, level, which is good, and so that's a plus. And then the next one is higher on that end. So move pickles. So it leans up. So that end is, there's a height discrepancy along that wall. So I'm gonna see, but they're all the same here. So if it's off, then it's got to be that wall board. And if it is, like I can lower that end just like a smidge by cutting it, but then that piece of wood is custom to that place. Right? I can't move it down a ways and then find out that it's now too low. So, and then this one is the original one. And now it's too high right there. So, let's get it closer. So it's high on that end. So I'm going to try flipping them around and just to double check and double check again. Triple double check. Because they all need to be, level. All damn. And all the ones that I buy, they're going to have to be. I had 4, but the other one's twisted. I knew that one of them was twisted, and that just happened to be the last one I was going to cut. And it was grossly twisted. So I'm going to just leave it for other cuttings for something else. I'll probably get away with just like using it for in between little sections like that. It's not as bad if they're, slightly twisted or whatever. They just need to support the movement of the boards this way. And if it's in there, then it's rigid and it doesn't let them do that as much, maybe microscopically. Yeah. So, what's the plan? So yeah, I'm gonna double check them and everything, but and I'll need to go get more wood, obviously. But before cutting any new wood, I will bolt and screw these guys in and make that a permanent fixing. Because if I go and cut those and then this thing moves, it's just another, thing in the thing. So that's what I got these for. These shims, if you can see those. everybody knows what shims are, but just in case. Shims are kind of a, let's get it. Shims are, put them in the light so you can see them. See how they are tapered at one end of each of them, right? So that they can slide it this way, and then you've got a little spacing, and then let's get my other finger in there. Slide it this way, and that gap increases, you know? So what is that for? That is so that you come in from both sides underneath it, you know, this guy. Well, so we can try, well, it doesn't matter because we're just, these aren't where they're going. So we put one in here, and that taper, the small end, goes underneath like that, and then we lift the board a little bit so that it's, so they can get in there. So what does that do is it slightly moves it upward, and then to pull them out, lets it go back down. So if we, I don't know how to do this with both hands and holding the thing. Let me use my crotch to hold it. So we're going to move it in. We're going to move this in. And so that'll work. Generally, you put them on top of each other, but, you know, to each their own. And, yeah, so that's what those are for. So that's to raise one end or lower one end or whatever to, and then adjust it. And then check the level again. Because it's, hang on. That's to make sure one end is not lower than the other and all that, and that they're all level. So in that case, this is here, and then that end is high because the bubble goes towards the high end. So in theory, I would put them here and raise these up a little bit, and then that would change this. As I put them in, it would raise this way, right? So, I know, idiot explaining, but that's the general principle. You know, if people want to know. The problem with that is that then there's this next board and then the next board, and all of them have to be the exact same height. So then we have to turn this way. And you can see this is high, and this is not even touching. See that? So this high piece, because of, you know, well, okay, so we're talking theory here. This is not the one that's going to go here and yada, yada, yada. I saw this when I was cutting. This one has a little bit of a bow. I think it's called crowning, but it's a bow that goes like this. And so in that case, I would just leave this here, and then I'd use my planer to plane that off a little bit and get some a little bit lower, and then this high end would start lowering, and then it would be, you know, level. So that's the general idea, and in my opinion, that is why this is showing high, because this crowning bow in that piece of wood, you know, get back farther, this side of it is high. So and so I think it's actually level because I've cut it, but I don't know, because the other guy built the, you know, that piece of wood that it's laying on. So I mean, I think he was a master craftsman, certainly a mason. And you know, I have no reason to doubt that he checked it and checked it and checked it. So that, you know, that comes down to my piece of wood. That's, yeah, so that's how it is. Anyway, these are the little adjustments and calculations and measurements and checking and checking to make sure that it's nice, because this floor is going to sit and it's going to be flat and it can't be bowed and it can't be, you know, have sinkholes and squishiness and all that. So, yeah. So I got to make sure that it is, you know, fucking sturdy. So, and perfect. And then I'll be able to walk on it for years and years and years to come. Decades. Yeah, so there it is. I think I'm going to adjust these boards a little bit more just to flip them around, check them, and then start the middle beam, the main beam, to start getting that firmed up. I'm kind of tempted. Yeah, well, because these will, you know, they're going to stand up straight, but then I'm thinking I need to put a little L brace on the end. You know what? I'm gonna grab one. I'm gonna show you. Because why stop talking now? So, I got a bunch of braces here. These are all left over from floor stuff and everything. I don't think I'll use the good ones or these. Here, look, we can show you those as well. See the difference there? These are more expensive. And those were, if I remember right, those were actually putting the you know, the frame up above, you know, stuff. So with these ones, these are cheaper. They're still sturdy as hell. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, but they just have a different finish. They have a different thickness. And like, see, like these ones. That's basically what we're gonna do downstairs. And that's to hold it from moving back and forth that way. So we're gonna look at Pickles for a second, because he's funny to look at. Hi, buddy. Oh, see, put his chair over here so the sun would hit him. Now he's all hot. Maybe. Let's see. Are you hot? Yeah, it's a good boy. Is that better? He just wants to play now. He's now that he's all warmed up. It was cold this morning. Woo, boy, it was cold. Getting out of that blanket. Not a pretty picture. Okay, so this will be the end. You can see that there's a slight twist. Some of it is okay. Any more than that, I would have to replace the board. I have I have other boards here, so just in case. But what I would do is put them in this way, probably to the bottom one, but you know, whatever. And this side, and maybe even, because I've got extra, maybe even the other side too. So, not that it, you know, has to be that way. There's not necessarily a code for it or whatever, but it's, in my opinion, it's just helping it be extra strong. So, like, if I bolted these, it's not going to fall this way, but it still could tip back and forth as I'm working on stuff, and I don't want that, and I couldn't walk on it because then it would tip over and stuff. So this would just be extra that. Once all the boards, once all these are the joists, once all of them are on there and everything is set, and I'll very likely put in the little, I don't have an example here for you. Put the little braces in that go here and here. That connects to this part and it connects to this part. And that's, once again, just to make sure that it holds still and doesn't move around. So, but once these are on, it's it's like impossible for the, you know, for it to tip over. But with those, it's just extra sturdy. So, all right, that's the other thing I need to, the width for this length, I think it's like, it can be, I don't think it can be 18 inches. Maybe it's 18 inches, yeah. But I mean, well, so if I pull this back, that's probably code. I don't want it that way. I want them closer. It's just like the deck. I put them only 12 inches apart. And I'll probably do that the same here, because the more joists you put in, the stronger it is. And like I said, I want it to be strong. So so I'm gonna have to calculate that out. Measure, see how many I need. Then at the end here, the low end, I need to do two things. I need to figure out how I'm going to cut the hole. I'm going to cut a hole that has a hinge. Maybe two. Open up. Partially, yes, for storage. So I can put stuff down in there. That'll be great, but I don't have a lot of stuff to store down there. So, so it doesn't really matter. The biggest reason is access. I need to have some kind of access to down there. Partially, you know, in case of, like, you know, whatever, something's going wrong, flooding, something. Not something that's happened, you know, but could, you know. But being able to get into a crawl space is necessary. But since I'm going to make a hatch, I might as well make a cool one, you know, a big one. That box right there is the dynamite box, the explosives box that was hiding down in there when I opened up the floor. The hole that you know, that popped out to access was really small. Not preferable. So I'm gonna make a bigger one. Put hinges. I may have to, in doing hinges, I may have to like carve out a little bit. I don't know. Well, I'll figure it out. But so that it's nice and sturdy, and if need be, I may put a post right here, just so that has something good to shut down on to. I'm thinking about, you know, like strengthening the joist that comes from here to that door, because that's where everybody comes in and out, right? Or me and Pickles, that's, you know. But that's where lots of use happens. Same with over here. I need, you know, if I put, you know, 2 or 3 together, put them right there, it'll be extra strong. Coming in, coming out, that'll be extra strong. And I can connect it to this. The other idea I had, which seems overly overkill, is to put one of these right there to hold up that end, just to, as a, like a middle thing. I mean, it doesn't have to be on the wall, but, you know, out here. But then, and then put one of these guys from here to there. And then, yeah. So I guess the post could be, you know, halfway in between, or even here. I mean, but yeah, but anyway, attach it to here, then it's like extra strong. That's where I come in, and so that's another thought, not completed, you know, but just it's been on my mind, and because if I do something like that, this is the time to do it. I think that's all. Anyway, yeah, the reason for me thinking about putting one over there is just so that the thing shuts down. Ooh, and has something really strong there to sit on. And if I put a post there, it'll be extra strong. Yeah. So, that brings up the other thing. I was looking at the pipes. I've got to, that just ends about right there. So, I need to bring that up and go over to, this will be my kitchen cabinet, sink, and all that. So that just needs drainage. That's all. No longer, we don't have a toilet, so that's where the other toilet was draining. And so that doesn't matter, but the sink water, yes. Or I could have a container and then take it out manually, but I don't want to do that. So I've already got a hole in the wall and the pipe to connect it to. So I'm going to go there, and then I'm going to dig out the outside and then connect that out. So it'll water the farm. So so that's what needs to be done before I close up the floor. But that's a while. That'll be a while. So so I need to, while I'm at that store getting wood, I need to decide where that needs to be, that hole, that drainage. So that if I get a cabinet or if I just make one, whatever, it could be either way. But anyway, I need it to be a certain placement so that, wherever that sink is, it can go down into that. So unless I get like more of a flexible, situation that can kind of adjust and just match up to it. All right, that's enough jibber jabbering, and that will do. Mystery.